Major red flags have been noticed in how Kanye West treats his new wife, Bianca Censori. Kanye West is now being watched closely by some experts who think that he might actually be trying to control his new wife, Bianca Censori. And they think that he's going a bit too far right now.
I gotta say, this has been going on for a couple months now.
There's one relationship therapist from Canada, Betsy Chung, and she shared her thoughts on their relationship. She went on to explain her ideas to the Daily Mail publication and began by saying this: couples spend so much time together, it's not entirely uncommon for them to influence each other. This means that they might start doing similar things like dressing alike or enjoying the same things. This can show that the couple has a strong connection and shared interests. But sometimes this can become a problem if it's one-sided and leads one person to give up their identity. And regarding Kanye West and Bianca Censori, Betsy Chung also had this to say: in healthy relationships, admiration should be mutual, where both partners feel loved and accepted for who they authentically are. She also did mention that in terms of fashion, it's okay to have preferences, but it's also important to respect your partner's choices. There can be different reasons why someone might try to control how their partner looks. Maybe they think that they can add something to their style to make them look better in public, or just give them more insight just so that they can pick better outfits for themselves. But Betsy Chung, she went on to list some examples, and this is what she specifically listed: having an inflated sense of self and believing that their perspectives are superior, having a need to control people's perception of them, expecting their partners to be an accessory to supporting that desired image, inability to deal with uncertainty, and feeling the need to control every little detail of their lives in order to feel that things are going well for them. It's fine, of course, to pitch in and chime in if your partner is wearing something that you're like, that doesn't really look good. But in the end, it's definitely important that both partners feel respected and valued in the relationship. And experts are concerned that Kanye West is being a little too controlling in his relationship, and that Bianca is just being broken down bit by bit, where she'll eventually lose her sense of value and sense of identity. Now, there's one celebrity psychic and body language expert, Inbal Honigman, who offered another perspective concerning Kanye West. She says Kanye West's astrological chart isn't one of a controlling man. It is rather the birth chart of a stubborn, creative, emotionally hypnotic man.
People say I'm a hypocrite, right? People say that, right?
Some.
Yes, I am. 100%. I'm a human being.
So Inbal attributes this to Kanye's Gemini-like qualities because, as she says, and I quote, Gemini's sun sign is at the heart of his creativity, and he enjoys experimenting and brainstorming because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, planet of communication. His personal style is both casual and high fashion because Gemini can be two opposite things at once. However, due to this connection with Mercury, Venus, and Mars in Taurus, he is a very single-minded sign. This means that his stubbornness is legendary, and he does not accept anyone else's opinions.
That's the main thing people are controlled by. If you're taught you can't do anything, you won't do anything.
This is the characteristic that comes across as control, but his partners are always free to leave him. So here we have a couple different perspectives, one showing concern for Kanye West being too controlling, and another of just him being stubborn and wanting to have his way, not necessarily trying to control and keep his partners with him. They're free to go. But one could argue that being controlling can stem from being stubborn, and also vice versa. Although their relationship is still pretty young, and so far there's no clear sign of any harm done to Bianca or anything like that, these are just some red flags that people have noticed that could lead to something worse as time goes on.
Kim Kardashian's unfiltered interaction and recently leaked documentary dating back to 2018 with her then husband Kanye West has garnered attention.
Be that type of shit where it's like a Floyd Mayweather could never have that, you know what I mean? Like, and be the champion of the world.
Kim Kardashian begs and tries to get Kanye West to get back on his meds, and this goes down in some new leaked footage from a documentary. The clip also revealed that Kanye West also begged Kim to support him more rather than judging and criticizing him.
You as my wife, when I'm pumping myself up, I would just love it if you were like, yes, babe, you the shit.
When we get deeper into the clip, it appears that his ex-wife, Kim Kardashian, has been urging him to get help for years. And this is something that she's brought up on multiple occasions.
That'd be that type of shit where it's like a Floyd Mayweather could never have that, you know what I mean? Like, and be the champion of the world.
This video though is of a documentary that was made in 2018 and it has come back into the spotlight. And in this particular clip, Kim is heard talking to Kanye West about taking his medication.
It could be helpful. Like, how is that new medication, like that other medication? What if one day, like, you thought all your options were what you realized that?
The clip shows Kanye West on the phone talking to Kim, and during the call, he asked Kim to support him publicly instead of criticizing him for his outbursts and calling him names like narcissistic.
Instead of when I like have to like stand up for myself, you'd be like, why do you sound like that? You're narcissistic. And it's just like.
And then he tells Kim that he needs her encouragement, not criticism. Like he literally says, you know, I need to be bigged up, not torn down.
Like fucking pumping up, you know what I mean? Not like putting down.
No, I totally get it. I need to work on it.
And later in the conversation, that's when Kim challenges Kanye by bringing up the topic of medication. And it seems like this is a subject that the family has talked about with him before, given the way that she starts to talk about it. Like Kim is heard over the phone saying things like, I think it could be helpful if you take that other medication. I know that you're never gonna be on it, but what if it started happening?
I'm loving the idea of a licensing deal. Like, I don't want the responsibility.
You know, things like that. And the call is a little bit muffled, so it's really hard to make out what Kim is saying. But she's clearly trying to convince him to take some meds, but at the same time, it sounds like she's kind of given up because it doesn't seem like he's actually listening. At one point in the conversation, Kim did suggest that Kanye reach out to a doctor that they both knew, but it seemed like the idea didn't really register with Kanye. It was kind of just brushed to the side.
No, I like licensing deals sometimes too. Like Adidas is a licensing deal. I'd be fine to do all licensing deals and shit.
And that particular clip ended with Kanye referring to both their marriage and life as a game and it being fun to him.
Marriage is, you know, I think it's fun. It's like a game. Life is a game, and it's
so maybe he wasn't really taking medication seriously. Maybe he didn't really think that he needed them. But either way, rumors about Kanye's hesitance to take medication have circulated for years, despite his public acknowledgement of actually suffering from bipolar disorder. Kim eventually did file for divorce in 2021, which was finalized in 2022. However, Kanye's behavior seemed to have intensified after their separation. We saw the whole thing with Pete Davidson and his public rants on Twitter and social media. And it's been said that him not taking his medication as he promised was a big factor with Kim filing for divorce. Kanye West has since moved on though, and he's been vacationing in Italy and other parts of the world with his current wife, Bianca Censori, who's reportedly helping him to launch a career comeback after he was canceled back in 2022 for making some very offensive comments, and that ended a collaboration deal that he had with Adidas. Despite legal issues though, Kanye West and Bianca continued their provocative fashion show publicly, and recently Italians didn't like it. Like they are calling for them to be punished by the law for indecent exposure in public. But on the flip side, many Italians and other people in different countries are actually now embracing Kanye West and Bianca Censori's public fashion show. And reports are saying now that this is more of a publicity stunt than anything, because as they say, even bad publicity is actually good publicity, and this will help him when he launches new albums as well as new clothing, because people are talking about him anyway, so that's a good thing. But guys, I really want to know what you got to say about this. Like, do you think Kanye West needs medication, Or do you think that Kim, as well as other people, were just kind of being a little bit too harsh on him and kind of trying to medicate him so that he can not say what he needed to say? Again, he did admit to being bipolar, and that can be treated with medication, and it is not specified in the clip what medication they were actually talking about, so maybe it was something else other than the bipolar medication.
Kanye and Bianca Censori, his Australian wife, they had an impromptu photo shoot in Florence, Italy.
Kanye West and Bianca are living it up, and it's totally cray-cray.
Kanye West and his wife decided to do a public photo shoot in the middle of the street, and the public absolutely loved it. This happened as they went back to Italy, and Italian locals as well as tourists crowded around Kanye West as he took photos of his Kim Kardashian look-alike wife, Bianca Censori, who was, of course, dressed in skin-tight clothing in the streets of Florence, Italy. Kanye West and Bianca easily attracted a lot of attention, causing a traffic jam literally outside of a pastry shop.
West, the Yeezy mastermind, even played stylist, adjusting her outfit for the perfect iPhone shot.
Just when you think that Italians are completely done with them and that they're done with Italy themselves, nope. Turns out that there are tons of Italian locals who absolutely love them. Of course, many of the people in the crowd were tourists too, but the fact that they did this while the Italian police are investigating them, it just goes to show you that they really don't care what people think about them. They just gonna do what they gonna do. And yeah, it looks like they had a really good time and they had a lot of fun doing this.
He seemed to be having a good time, and I just can't get over the people in the background. This guy's giving a thumbs up.
Kanye West was dressed in all black, and he had something on his head to hide his identity, but people recognized him, of course. That's Kanye, clearly. Bianca Censori continued her trend of wearing outfits that reveal a lot, and this time she was dressed in a low-cut skin-colored bodysuit, bronze semi-transparent tights, and pointed heels. Bianca also had her hair slicked back and carried a green handbag. And Kanye West didn't want people to get too close to them. He acted as a buffer to gently move fans aside so that he could take photos of Bianca on his iPhone while she was posing, and just to make sure that people weren't coming too close to them. Now during the photo shoot, the crowd cheered and they took their own photos and videos of the couple as well. That day in Florence, Italy appeared to be a more positive outing compared to their previous ones. So no somber or tired faces were made by Bianca, and no real drama or controversy happened. It was all in all a pretty good day. Prior to this, they faced criticism for what they did during a boat ride in Venice. As a result, they were permanently banned by the boat company, and there were reports of them being investigated for possibly violating public decency standards. Law enforcement had this to say about this at the time. The images showed the couple clearly in a state of intimacy, and if the local prosecutor decides to press charges, then we will notify the couple, most probably through the relevant embassies. The offense being investigated is acts contrary to public decency, which is punishable by an administrative sanction. Since Kanye and Bianca started their adventures over in Italy in August of 2023, Bianca has been wearing outfits made from sheer tights, which many on social media have criticized as being disrespectful and classless. And this is all because of Italy's conservative Catholic culture. They're wondering why she's dressing like that in that country. However, Bianca's fashion choices seem to be more accepted when they travel to the United Kingdom as well as Germany. Before heading back to Italy, she and Kanye West attended the Mola Lola fashion show during London Fashion Week, and a source mentioned that Bianca was having a great time over there and no major complaints about her and Kanye West were made at all.